Jaya Jaya Gurudev Prabhupada Gurudev Prabhupada.
Yo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Nanda Gauri Vaishnavanda ki.
Jai.
Acharya Das Thakur ki.
Jai.
Sikho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavandi ki.
Jai.
Premanande.
Haribol.
All glorious assembled devotees, all glorious assembled
Hare
devotees.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Namo Vishnupada, Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shrimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Vishnu ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Acharya Thakur ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavandi ki.
Jai.
I go
Jai.
Preman.
Hari Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
All assembled devotees, all glorious assembled
Hare
devotees.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare
Om
Krishna.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Niskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati asam jayamati.
Tato Jayamati
Vishvabhadreshu nityam bhagavat
Sarvayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam
bhagavati
Bhagavata Sevaya
shloke bhaktir
Bhagavate Uttamastoge Bhakti Bhavati Naishtagi
devaki nandanaya cha nanda
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha
pangajanabhaya nama pangajamani
Pangajamukti
pangajanetraya namaste pangam karoti vacha tamaham mande Paramanandamadhavam. Hare Krishna. Welcome back to Bhagavad Gita study class. Chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person, and today's verses 16, 17, and 18. We'll read the 16th verse. Dvavimo purusho loke charaschachara evacha chara sarvani bhutani kudastvachara uchyate. Dvavimo purusho loke charaschachara evacha chara sarvani bhutani kudastvachara uchyate. Dvavimo purusho loke charaschachara evacha chara sarvani bhutani kudastvachara uchyate. Yes, Katyani Maji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Davimau Purushau Loge Charasachara Evaja Charam Charaha Sarvani Bhudani Budasto Chara Uchyade. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Snigdha Maji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dvavimo Purusho Loke Sharashakshara Evacha Shara Sarvani Bhutani Kutasto Akshara Uchyate.
Yes. Yes, Maji. Read that.
Yes, Prabhuji. I can read from the online, Prabhuji. I'm not having the book right now. Can I read?
Okay. Right.
Okay, Prabhuji. Dvau, two, imau, these, purusho, being, loke, in creation, shara, the perishable, cha, and Akshara, the imperishable, Eva, even, Cha, and Shara, the perishable, Sarvani, all, Bhutani, being, Kutastha, the liberated, Akshara, the imperishable, Uchyate is said. Translation. There are two kinds of being in creation, the Akshara and the Akshara. The perishable are all beings in the material realm. The imperishable are the liberated beings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right, verse 17. Utama purushastu anya paramatmedi udahridaha yo logatrayamavishyam vivartyavya ishvara. Utama purushastu anya paramatmedi udahridaha yo logatrayamavishyam vivartyavya ishvara. Uttama purushastu anyah paramatmedi udahridaha yo logatrayama vishyam vivarti avyaya ishvara. Yes.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Uttama Purushas Anya Paramatma Te Tuda Hurda Yo Logatrayama Visya Vibhatravyaya Ishvara. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Siddhamaji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Uttama Purushastva Anyah Paramatma
Paramatme
Paramatmetyudahritah yo lokatrayamavisya Vibhartya Ishwarah. Uttama, the supreme, Purusha, divine personality. 2. But, Anya, beside, Parama Atmana, the supreme soul. Iti, thus, Udahrita is said. Yah, who, Lokotrayam, the three worlds, Avishya enters, Vibhrati supports, Avyayah, the indestructible, Ishvaraha, the controller. Translation. Beside this is the Supreme Divine Personality, who is the indestructible Supreme Soul. He enters the three worlds as the unchanging controller and supports all living beings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. 18. Yasmat charamadiroham.
Yasmaksharam Aditokam Charadabhijotamaha Adosmi Loke Veja Pratitha Purushotamaha. Yasmaksharam Aditokam
Yasmat charamadiroham acharadavi chotamam adosmi loge vedecham pratidaha purushotama.
Purushotamaha.
Adosmi loge vedecham pratidaha purushotama. Yes, Katyani Maji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yasmakshara Aditoham Akcharadabhijotamaha Adosmi Loge Vedeja Pratitha Purushotamaha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Snigdha
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yasmachaksharamati aham ksharadapi chotamaha atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottamah. Meaning, yasmat, since, hence, sharam, to the perishable, atita, transcendental, aham, I, aksharat, to the imperishable, api, even, cha, and uttamah, transcendental, atah, therefore, asmi, I am, loke, in the world, vede, in the Vedas, cha, and pratita, celebrated, purusha uttamah, is the supreme divine personality. Translation: I am transcendental to the perishable world of matter and even to the imperishable soul. Hence, I am celebrated both in the Vedas and the Smritis as the Supreme Divine Personality. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Tasmai Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Yena Bhutale Kanjubhagada Viswambe Om Shri Udavadaga
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Dagamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Saryajatam Sahana Raghunathanidam
Udam Parijana Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lilada Shri Vishadam Vidam Sam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Bando Jagat Kanda Radha Kanda Namaste Taptaga Anjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sude Devi Vancha Kalpadrubhischa Kriva Duvye Cha Padidanam Tavane Namo Om Adaya Krishna Bhutale
Bhutale Srimati
Bhakti
Bhaktivedanta Swami Ididhamine
Saraswade Deve Gaurajari Vivishya Shunyavad Ashwati Deshadarine Chaitanya Nityananda Shakti Gadadhara Sadi Gaurav Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Vimo Purusho Loge Kshara Akshare Vacham Kshara Sarvani Bhudani Kodasto Akshara Muchyade. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and infallible. In the material world, every entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every entity is called infallible. Hare Krishna. So, in the previous last 4 verses, Krishna explained how he is maintaining the worlds as well as the residents of the worlds. How he is facilitating life in these planets. He is by providing light through sun, moon, and a fire, and then he's holding all the planets in his orbit, and then he's nourishing the trees and plants through moonlight, and as fire inside the belly of all living entities, he is cooking the food, digesting the food that is eaten by the living entities. So that's how he maintains. And then in the 15th chapter, in the 15th verse, he says that he is the cause for the knowledge, the remembrance, memory, and the forgetfulness of the living entities. Knowledge, which is required for performing actions, and memory also, which is assisting this performance by recollecting things that is required. And forgetfulness means one, suppose you want to forget Krishna also, that is also provided by Krishna. And then he's providing for the persons who are interested, who are persons who are desirous of transmigrating from the material world to a spiritual world. He says he is a person who is proclaimed in Vedas. All the Vedas, by all the Vedas, he is to be known. He is a compiler of Vedas, and he's also the knower of the Vedas. So ultimately, he says that he is through him only, directly only, all these Vedas are emanated, which is substantiated in Brihad Aranya Upanishad. He is also the writer of the Vedanta Sutra or Brahma Sutra through his literary incarnation Vedavyas. And he also is the only person who knows the true meaning of the Vedas. So Arjuna is inquisitive, what is the true Vedas, true meaning of the Vedas contained in Vedanta Sutra? So in response to that, Krishna is explaining these three verses, 16, 17, 18, which is giving the confidential information, confidential meaning of the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra is most confidential, and essence of Vedanta Sutra is explained in these three verses very nice by Krishna. So there is called Traishloka Gita. That was explained in the beginning class, the division of the breakdown of this chapter. Last 5 verses, starting from 16, is knowing Krishna, knowing everything. So knowing Krishna is explaining in the first 3 verses of this last session, 16, 17, and 18. This is called Traishloka Gita. We have already seen the Chatushloki Gita in the 10th chapter. Which are the verses, Mataji? The 10th chapter, Chatushloka. Snigdhamaji. You're not there? Right. It is 8, 9, 10, and 11 of the 10th chapter. Am sarvasya prabhava matta sarva pravatade idimatva bhajante mam buddha bhava samyamida. That is verse number 8. And verse number 9 says, verse number 9, it is given mad chitta mad gada prana bodhayanda parasparam kadayandascha mam nityam tushyandi charamanti cha. And verse 11 it says, Tesham sadadayuktanam bhajadam priti purvakam mi buddhiyogam tam yena mam upayandite. And 11th verse says, Tesham eva anugambartam aham ajnanajatama jnanajam tamha nashayami atmabhavasto jnanadibena bhasada. So these are the Chatushloka Gita, which is nutshell of Bhagavad Gita. And this is also a nutshell of Bhagavad Gita, as well as because Bhagavad Gita is also essence of Vedanta Sutra also. So Krishna explains this very nicely. He says, there are 2 classes of people in the world. There are 2 classes. One is called the fallible or the perishable. Other is infallible or imperishable. Fallible means one who is prone to fall down, one who has fallen down and remaining in the fallen condition. That is a fallen. That is a what is called the fallible jivas. Both are jivas. One is a fallen soul, and other is a imperishable or the infallible soul, which are now situated in the spiritual world. So Loka means it includes both material world as well as the spiritual world. Spiritual world is a expansion of Krishna's energy, while the material world is a creation of Krishna's energy, through Krishna's energy. So in the material world, we find the jivas who are bonded, who have been languishing here from time immemorial. And they are called Shara, imperishable, perishable, in the sense that they are always changing their bodies. Their bodies are getting perished. And the Akshara. Akshara actually means Brahman. Brahman, because Akshara is explains Akshara Parama Brahma. In 8.3, you'll find, in verse 8.3, you'll find Akshara Parama Brahma. Arjuna was asking Tat, Kim Tat Brahma. What is Brahman? So Krishna is explaining Aksharam Brahma Param. Sorry, Paramam. Akshara Param Brahma Paramam. The indestructible transcendental living entity is called Brahman. The indestructible transcendental entity is called Brahman. So that is Brahman. And he further explains who are these Kshara and Akshara. Krishna says in the second line, Kshara Sarvani Bhudani. All living entities, right from Brahma to the ant, insignificant ant, they're all the Kshara class. Because they are always changing their bodies. They are here, and due to their karma, they are transmigrating from one body to another, and they are always occupation. One body is always temporary. Avashaha, by helplessly they are transplanting. Why? The Akshara means this Akshara is Kudastha. Akshara means Kudastha, always remaining in one form. And that one form is called spiritual form. It will not change. It is eternal. So Kudastha is pertaining to Brahman only. We find the 12th chapter also the Kudastha is used in verse 4 and 5, or rather 3 and 4. 3 and 4, Krishna is mentioning that. Kudastha achalam dhruvam. Kudastha achalam dhruvam. Yetu aksharam anirudeshyam avyaktam paripasade sarvatra gamam achindyam cha kudastha achalam dhruvam. Kudastha. So Kudastha is situated in one form, in one place. It is not changing. So that is Kudastha. So they have the spiritual form, or they have the spiritual nature which is similar to Krishna, which is similar to Supreme Person. Because the Supreme Person, as we all know, is situated only in his internal potency only. And this, the jivas which are now situated in the spiritual world have the same form as Krishna. So that is a oneness. Oneness doesn't mean that they are merging into Krishna. It is having just the nature of Krishna. Like in 14.2 and 4.10, all these verses you'll find this. And there are many these individual souls which have attained liberation and situated now in the spiritual world are many. And there are souls also which have now come down to spiritual this material world. So in the spiritual world you'll find Nitya Mukta. Nitya Mukta means they are always liberated. So they have now come down to this material world. And you'll find that Sadhana Mukta, Sadhana Siddha, and Kripa Siddha. Through their sadhana, they have been able to liberate themselves. And through the mercy of Acharyas and Krishna, another group or another number of jivas have been liberated. So having liberated, they continue their spiritual form and reside in Krishna, with Krishna as his associate. So because this Kshara the fallible ones or the perishable ones, they are in this material world, they are subject to change. They are not in Kudasa, they are not in one form. They are subject to change. They assume many forms, and in the same form itself, in the present form itself, they are subject to 6 different changes. That we all know. Jayade, Asti, Vardhade, Vardhade, Viparimanyade, Avakshiyade, Nashyade.
Nashyate.
So comes to existence, grows, stays for some time, produces offsprings, deteriorates, and finally get destroyed. So the same form, right from plant life up to this one, the Brahma also, this process is the same. But in the spiritual world, it is Akshara, Kudastha. Kudastha means in one form only. So having explained this, the 2 classes of people, the 2 classes of living entities, one is a Jiva Buddha, who is situated here. Another is a Brahman, or you can say Brahma Buddha, who is now in the Vaikuntha planets. Then Krishna explaining the third person, a third person, that is in singular. The other 2 are plural. There are many living entities. One is the bonded ones situated in the material world, and they are called Ksharas. Other one is the liberated ones. They are the Brahman who are attained the Brahman status, and they are situated in the spiritual world. Now, apart from this, Krishna is now explaining who the third person is. He says, Uttama Purushas tu Anyaha Paramatmedi Udahadaha Yo Logatrayamavishya Bhivarti Avyaya Ishvaraha. So there is a third person. Apart from this Chara and Akshara Jivas, there is a third entity. That is also Jiva only. But that is called Paramatma, or the Supreme Soul. He is called Supreme Soul. And he is called Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha, the best of all personalities. Tama means ignorance, darkness. Uttama means one who has transcended the Tama, the darkness, region of darkness. So he is highest situated. He is highest person. He is the best person. He is called Uttama Purusha, and he is called Paramatma. And what is the nature of Paramatma? How Paramatma is different from others? First discuss Ishvaraha. In second sentence, Yo Logatrayamavishya Bhivarti Avya Ishvara. He is a Ishvara. He is a controller. He is a controller of everyone. Avyaya Ishvara. Avyaya Ishvara means is inexhaustible, is unchanging, he is always a controller. There is no other controller apart from him. He is the only controller of the 3 worlds. He is entering this 3 world, Bibharti. Logatrayam Avishya. Logatrayam Avishya means entering these 3 worlds, 3 divisions of the worlds, and is maintaining them. So he is entering the 3 worlds, each Brahmanda, you can say Brahmanda also, in the form of Garbhodashaya Vishnu, and is entering to each and every atom inside all living entities in the form of Kshirodashaya Vishnu. So he is entering this, and not only entering this, is supporting also, stabilizing. He is giving the support, as we have seen the 15, 16, 17, 18. Sorry, 12, 13, 14, and 15 verses. We have seen how he is supporting this. How is the support for all these worlds? How is maintaining them? That we have seen. And why is he different from others? The jivas, because the bonded jivas cannot perform what he has done. The bonded jivas, absolutely there is no question of creating and supporting these three worlds. And this Brahman, the realized ones also, they are not into this creation. So this aspect of creation and maintenance, support, everything is done by the third person, who is a Paramatma. So he's a Uttama Purusha, is a controller of everyone. So knowing, having this knowledge that Krishna in the form of a Paramatma is different from both the bonded Jiva and the liberated Jiva, the Brahman, gives rise to real knowledge. That gives rise to peace. You have seen in 5.29. You have seen the Yogina also now. What is that? Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloga
Sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam yatamam santirachati.
Jnatva shantirichyati. So this is here. He is a controller, is a we call loga, is a control of all three worlds. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. And how is it proclaimed? In Charamadi. So Krishna says the difference now. Yasmat Charamadi Doham Acharada Bichotamaha Adosmi Loge Vedecha Pradidaha Purushottama. Because I'm transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I'm the greatest, I'm celebrated both in the world and the Vedas as a supreme person. So since he is greater than, or he is transcendental both to these Chara Jivas and Achara Jivas, he is proclaimed as a supreme person both in the Smriti and the Shrudis, in the Shrudis as well as Smritis. Veda, Loka means Lokayata, the meaning is Lokayata is meaning is also there. Loka means that which reveals the meaning of the Vedas. So Smriti means, Shruti is directly coming from the Supreme Person, explained by Supreme Person through various acharyas in Upanishads. And the Smritis, namely the set of Puranas, Idihasas, they are actually written so as to define the meaning in the Shrutis, further explanation of the Shrutis. Or you can either say Puranas or is the Puranas are the tale narrations of those persons, of those living entities who are abided by the principles of Vedas and those who are against the Vedas. So the two classes, Suras and Asuras, you can see. So in Puranas, you will find there is always a clash between Suras and Asuras. Smriti is explaining these Puranas because Smriti is an explanation of Vedas and persons who are following these Vedas and those who are against these Vedas. So both in Vedas or Shrutis or in Smritis, Krishna is proclaimed as the highest person. So Lokyade Vedartho Nanena. Lokyade Vedartho. The meaning of Veda is explained. Anena, without any change. Anena, exclusive meaning. Is explained in the Shrutis, in the Smritis. So in Vedas, a part of which is Upanishads, Chandogya Upanishad. Krishna says, sorry, the Upanishad says, Tavadesha Sampasado Asmat Sharirat Samuthaya Param Jyotirubam Sampadya Swena Rupa Abhinishpatyade Sa Uttama Purusha. Tavadesha Sampasado Esha Samprasada. Thereafter, by the mercy, Samprasado means Prasada means mercy. By whose mercy? Asmat Sharira, who? The object of mercy. One who gives mercy is now given as Uttama Purusha, Krishna. The object of mercy is a jiva. The person who is receiving the mercy, Tavat Esha Samprasado Asmat Sharira Samuthyaya, rising from this body, that means discarding this body, Param Jyotirubam Sampadya, is attaining the similar form as a swimming person. Swena Rubena Abhinishpatyade, that is his own form. His own form. That means he is discarding his material form and he is receiving his original form due to the mercy of that person. Sa Uttama Purusha. That is Uttama Purusha. That is a supreme person. The meaning is that when you understand Krishna perfectly and when you worship Krishna by methods or processes that is explained in the Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then you get liberated. Liberated means Tektva Anyatha Rupam Swarupena Vyavastita. Bhagavatam says Tektva Anyatha Rupam. Rejecting or discarding, or rather discarding the secondary form, which is alien, which is not his natural form, namely his body, the material body. Discarding this material body, Swarupena Vyavastitaha, situated in his original form. That is, here is mentioned as Samutaya Param Jyotirubam Sambhadya Swena Rupena Abhinishpadyade. Starting one's material forms being situated in the original form and attaining one which is similar to this supreme form by the mercy of the supreme person. That is a supreme person. So that supreme person is explained in Chandogya Upanishad, and that is a Shruti. And Smriti in Skanda Purana, who is Purusha, this person, this particular person, who is cause for this liberation? Ter Vijnavade Karyastu Bhagavan Purushotamaha Avatirno Mahayogi Satyavatyayam Parasara. Parasharamani. The supreme, the Uttama Purusha is none other than, in the Loga, is Vedavyasa only. And Vedavyasa has appeared here, Avatirno, he is Avatirno. Avatirno Mahayogi, he is appeared through Satyavati and Parashamani. We know that Vedavyasa is a son of Parashamani and Satyavati. And that Vedavyas has explained this Vedanta Sutra, the meaning of which now is defined in these 3 verses. And he is a person who is explaining this meaning, and he is a person who is the cause for liberation of the bonded living entities. So, Pradidaha Purushottama. So, all the Shrutis and Smritis, in all the worlds, in the spiritual world and in the material world also, Krishna is proclaimed as a Purushottama. And what should the living entities now do now? You should act like this. By next 2 verses, 19 verses, Krishna will be explaining the Yomam avam asamuda janadi purushottamam sa sarvait bhajati mam sarvabhavena bharada. That will be explained in the next 2 verses, 19 and 20. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any questions? No, thank you very much. So, Snigdhamaji can tender some
Professor.
Kirtan.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya, Praladaladaine, Hiranyakashipurvakshah, Hiranyakashipurvakshah, Silatanka Nakhalai, Ito Narsinho Parato Narsinho, Yato yato yami tato Narsinha, Bahir Narsinha, Hridayir Narsinha, Narsinha Madi Sharanam Prapade, Tabakara Kamala Bare, Nakham Adhuta Sringam, Dalita Hiranyakasipu, Tanubhrangam, Kesabhadrita Narahari Rupa, Jaya Jagadis Hare, Jaya Jagadis Hare, Jaya Jagadis Hare, Jaya Narsingadev, 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 Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Narahari, 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 Jaya Narahari, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Lakshmi Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Prahlad Narasingha, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Om Ugrang Virang Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingha Vishana Bhadrang Mrityu Mrityu Namamyam. Om Ugrang Virang Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingha Vishana Bhadrang Mrityu Mrityu Namamyam. Om Ugrang Virang Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Narasingha Vishana Bhadrang Mrityu Mrityu Namamyam. Sri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Sri Narsimha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhranga Sri Narsimha Jai Narsimha Jai Jai Sri Narsimha Praladesa Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bhranga Sarva Vigna Vinasaka Narsimha Bhagavan ki Jai.
Hi. Thank you. Vancha kalpadrubhascha.
Kripa Sindhu Bhaivaja Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo.
Nandagudi
Anantapati Vaishnava
Vaishnavaniki.
Jai.
Jai. Srila